today's video is dedicated to anyone who is looking to start or grow their professional freelance makeup kit. I have been freelancing for the last 4 years and I've had to learn through trial and error what works and what doesn't, what's essential and what isn't, and what to invest in and what to get on the cheap. And so today I'm going to be sharing my top 5 items and tips for you, and I hope that that's going to help you in growing your own kit. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you need to consider is your work environment. As a freelancer, no 2 days are the same, which means that no 2 work environments are the same. That's what's so cool about it, and also what can be really challenging about it. The bottom line is that preparation is essential in order for you to be a successful freelance makeup artist. Preparation in terms of knowing that you don't have much time to do things, and preparation in terms of being able to be highly adaptable. So let's get started with what I feel is the baseline item, and that is a really kick-ass makeup bag. So what is a kick-ass makeup bag? Is it shiny, pretty? No. A kick-ass freelance makeup bag is sturdy, lightweight, has wheels, and it's durable. I've been through a ton in the last 4 years, and I found the one. So, if you've been in the game for a while, you'd know that this is the Rolls Royce of makeup bags. They are absolutely incredible, and here's why. Firstly, this guy is made from a lightweight aluminium frame, which means that she's nice and sturdy and super light and easy to pick up. Remember, this thing is going to be full of makeup, so you need to make sure that whatever storage solution you choose is light to begin with. We move around a lot as freelancers. We go up and down stairs, we go over gravel, we go over grass, so it is super important that you get something that is sturdy and that has really good wheels. I have been on set when my bag has broke and I've had to kind of hobble off with one wheel working. Never again. So this may not look like much, but believe me, this bag is completely worth the hype. It doesn't run cheap. I took the plunge and I'm so glad I did. I want to say that this is by far and wide the best freelance bag. I've seen hairstylists use it, tons of makeup artists use it. It is phenomenal. If you have the funds, then this is definitely the one to get, and if you don't yet, then keep this in mind and save up, because it is 100% worth it. So you've got a kick-ass bag, and the next thing any good freelancer needs is a really solid makeup organization system. So I've done a lot of research on this, and the truth is there is no perfect answer. You are the one who's going to be using the system, so you should be the one to make up exactly how it is organized. But I will give you some tips on helping you organize. The first thing is to invest in a few of these plastic clear boxes. They need to be clear so that you can have a clear view of exactly what is inside from every single angle. I picked these up from Westpac, but you can also get some at the Crazy store. These are phenomenal. I like the fact that these are compartmentalized, because I have had, especially foundations and concealers, popping or bursting, and when they do, the mess is very much kept into its compartment or kept into just one container so that it's not completely ruining the rest of your kit. So these are a must-have. Now on these plastic boxes, I highly recommend that you invest in a labeler. As you can see, I label all of my boxes on the front and then on the side. I do this because when I pack my Zuka, I pack them in this way, and so I can see it from any angle, you know exactly what's inside the box. I do want to say at this stage that decanting your makeup is a really good idea. I got a bunch of little pots and spray bottles and stuff from Miniso, and they were super cheap and they work amazingly, and I'll show you. So instead of carrying around a massive bottle of my cellular water, I've gone and decanted it into this little guy from Miniso. And as you can see, it's labeled. And then again, I've taken my MAC Fix Plus out and put it into this guy. Now a little trick here is that it's definitely helped me to get to my back to MAC a lot quicker, because that packaging is valuable, and if you can get the product out and get it into your back to MAC as soon as possible, you're going to be getting that free lipstick sooner than you would have otherwise. What I also like about it is you are only carrying around the product that you need, which is very important because we don't want our bag to be too heavy and we want to maximize our space. And then guys, lastly on organizing your palettes. So I have been collecting Morphe palettes, and I think all of us in general, like buying your eyeshadows in a palette format is just so much more cost effective. But the problem with these palettes is that they all look the freaking same. So again, I've pulled out my labeler, and on both sides of all of my palettes I've labeled what I've kind of given it its own name. So this one is the Morphe 35K, which I think is like coffee or whatever, but for me I put it as gunmetal and coffee shadows, and I put it on both sides because if I pull this thing out, I'm not going to try and like look for the label. I want to see it immediately, and in my mind I know exactly what's in the palette, and I'll know whether or not to take it on a job, or when I do pull it out, whether or not I've got the right one. And again, I've done the same with my Morphe blush palette and bronzer palette, because you don't want to be picking this thing up and opening it and then, oh, it's the wrong palette, and you have to go back in your kit and you're wasting time. And believe me, when you are working against the clock, something as simple as this makes all the difference. Now you'll see on this that I've got these funny thingies at the back. So again, in my research, I read about like these things, and they're actually what you put at the bottom of your furniture to stop it from like sliding. So I'm sure if you're like me, you have had palettes drop, you've had the powders within them crack, and it is heartbreaking. So I've taken two precautions to avoid that. The first is that I've added these I've added these stopper thingies. And you can buy these super cheap from the crazy store, like it's ridiculous, and you get them in big packs. I do this on every single one of my palettes. If you're going to be spending the money on the palette, you can spend just a tiny little bit more, and it is just a little bit more, to ensure that your palette gets the longest lifespan possible. I find with these that there are two great benefits. The first is that they don't slide and slip off tables and off each other as easily. The second is that they actually act as a buffer inside your kit. So when your kit is packed very tightly, make sure that the palettes aren't actually knocking into each other, and it works perfectly. Okay, the other thing that I do is I bought this, it's like a kitchen, the kitchen non-slip mat thing, and you get them in a roll from the crazy store, and I buy them in a roll, and then I literally just cut them out to the shape of the lid of the palette, and with a hot glue gun I secure it on the inside. And what this does is it literally cushions your powders, so that again in transit, when it's bumping around or if it falls, it's got a little bit of a soft landing, something to absorb the knock. And I must say, since I've done this, I have definitely seen a reduction in the amount of shadows that have broken inside my palette. So those are two little things that you can do for your palette that's going to make the world of difference, I promise. The next little gizmo gadget that I've invested in that I wish I had done sooner is a makeup brush belt. So this guy's basically, I think when I started out I had something like this, but it didn't have like the belt part attached, so it just laid flat on the table. And while I loved it, what it did do is it took up a lot of space on the table that I was working from. Now remember, like I said, every environment's different, and on some jobs I was given a beautiful table with ample amount of space, and on other jobs I had absolutely nothing. The one thing you want quick access to is your brushes, and so I find that this brush belt has been incredible. Let me show you with it on. So I've got my own form of storage within the belt, so I know that certain brushes are on this side and certain brushes are on this side, and I think the more that you work with this, you'll come to do that as well. The next item is a really good makeup bib. voila. And you can see mine is from Creative Glamour and the price is down here. Again, not something that you need to be spending massive amounts of money on, but definitely an essential for your kit. They fold up really nicely and easily, and I know most clients appreciate having their clothes covered whether or not they are going to wear it in the shoot. Makeup's really hard to get off clothing, so do your client a favor, get a makeup bib. Don't spend a fortune on it. I've had disposable ones as well, which work great. The item I'm going to share now is an item that I've only just recently invested in, and that is a pro makeup chair. So I know a lot of artists feel like in between about this, because some will say, oh well, you know, I have one but I never use it. Or I think it is all about being smart about what you look for in a chair. So like your bag, your chair needs to be sturdy, it needs to be lightweight and durable, and you want to be aware, always be aware of the maximum amount of weight that your makeup chair can take, because yeah, that would be awkward. But guys, like seriously, I've had instances where I'm doing like matric ball clients and they're like sitting on the toilet because that's the only place that they can sit that has good lighting. You know, I've had people sitting on my Zuka. I found carrying my own chair to a job has been such a revelation. My clients love it. It's comfortable, it has a back. Often all you have is this little stool that your client is like trying to balance on, and you know, they're uncomfortable. A professional makeup chair has armrests, it has a back so your client can be comfortable, and that's exactly what you need when you're trying to create a beautiful look and when you're trying to keep your client happy. Now what I love about this chair is that it folds up and folds out like that. In fact, let me show you. So guys, that is it. Those are my top tips for building or growing your professional makeup kit. And I think there were some really good tips in there just for looking after your makeup in general. There's so much YouTube content out there, and I am so honored that you chose to spend this time with me and not watching a cat with a moustache driving a bicycle. But you can go do that now.